Today, I want to talk to you about an ancient Chinese classic full of wisdom, the Tao Te Ching. It was written by the great philosopher Laozi over 2,500 years ago. This book is only about 5,000 words long, but its influence has lasted through the ages and across cultures. Even today, it continues to inspire and guide people in their daily lives. There are two very famous lines from the Tao Te Ching: "The movement of the Tao is returning," and "the use of the Tao comes from weakness." These might sound a bit difficult to understand at first, but actually, they reveal a very simple yet important truth about life. By understanding these two ideas, you can solve most of the problems in relationships. It's really that simple. First, what does "the movement of the Tao is returning" mean? This line can be translated as, everything in life follows a cycle and comes back to where it started. In simpler terms, it means that whatever we send out into the world, our feelings, actions, and words, will eventually come back to us in some way. For example, if you show anger, blame, or frustration towards others, you'll likely receive the same in return. It's like an echo. Whatever you send out comes back to you. On the other hand, if you show kindness, care, and understanding, you'll usually receive positive responses in return. Let me give you a real-life example. One night, my husband and I had a small disagreement. I wanted him to go to bed earlier, so I said, "You should put your phone down." He didn't respond, so I said it again, but this time with more frustration. Suddenly, he snapped back at me, saying, "Why don't you mind your own business?" I felt really hurt at that moment. I thought I was just trying to help him, so why did I get such a negative response? Later, after calming down, I realized that my tone had a hint of blame. I wasn't just concerned about his well-being, I was annoyed and was demanding him to do what I wanted. That's why he reacted the way he did. This is exactly what "the movement of the Tao is returning" teaches us. What we send out, whether it's positive or negative, will come back to us. Next, what does "the use of the Tao comes from weakness" mean? This can be translated as, what seems weak can actually be very powerful. Laozi often used water as a metaphor. Water seems soft and gentle, but it can carve through rock and shape the land. This concept applies to relationships too. When we drop our defenses and show our vulnerability, we actually create stronger, more meaningful connections. Let me share another example. One time, I was arguing with my husband. I felt hurt by something he said, so I blamed him. But then, at one point, I realized that I wasn't really expressing my true feelings. Instead, I was using blame to cover up my own insecurity and vulnerability. When I finally let go of my need to be strong and instead expressed my real feelings, the atmosphere between us changed. The conversation became more peaceful, and his defenses dropped. You see, when we stop trying to control or attack others, they no longer feel the need to resist or fight back. This is the power of "the use of the Tao comes from weakness." By being open and honest, we build deeper connections. A universal wisdom. We all know that relationships are complex, no matter where you are in the world or what culture you come from. Conflicts and misunderstandings happen everywhere, but if we can learn to pause during moments of conflict, reflect on our own feelings, and try to understand the other person's point of view, while also dropping our defenses, we can often ease the tension and find real connection. As the poet Alfred de Souza once wrote, "Dance like no one's watching, sing like no one's listening, love like you've never been hurt." When we are willing to show our true selves, even knowing that we might get hurt, we create space for miracles to happen. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you next time.